kind of Haymaker. Basically, it's just a very free and easy throw.
Move in, receive it, and then drag the opponent away. Move in, catch onto his neck, and slam your elbow into his chest, or you can even take the head with it.
And I guess you kind of see that a lot in physical confrontations. First of all, in Ashihara Karate practice, we try not to differentiate different techniques that are coming from the same direction. So it is to say that if it's going to be a hook punch, or a round kick that is coming to the head, or even a swing of a weapon that is coming from the side of the head, we tend to treat it the same way, because similar principles would apply to neutralize the technique. Okay. The first way that I responded against it just now was to simply step back. So you have seen this in previous episodes where I simply step back and followed by a counter attack. Okay. And the second way that I introduced you today is to do a high guard on either side of the hip. So it looks like this or like this. Okay. To the left and to the right. Okay. In our syllabus or in our training, we find this technique in a kata called kumite kata. Okay? And in the kumite kata series, we learn to receive against a high kick by stepping in and doing a high block. So for example, if I go and run, if a left high kick comes, maybe I step in to receive the high block. If a right high kick comes, okay, I receive it as same way. Okay, if it works against the high kick, it should be working against the hook punch. One and the right, and two. Okay, and the technique that follows the receiving of the high kick in the kata is a knee kick. Okay, so for example, imagining a left high kick coming over here, I step in to do a high kick, I do a leg switch, knee kick, and I push him to the back. Okay, if it's coming from the other side, step in, receive, knee kick, I can push him away, or I can simply roll him down to the ground to finish attacking him on the ground. The other part of our training where we can refer to this technique is in kihon. So kihon in karate training refers to basics, or specifically basic drills. Okay? These are drills that allow you to practice repetitively certain movements. Okay? So when it comes to Ashihara Karate, there is a technique that looks like this. Okay? In karate, commonly we call this gedan barai, gedan being the lower level, barai means to sweep, or commonly we call it a block, therefore a lower block. But apart from just sweeping away something that is coming to your tummy, okay, there is also a part where both hands come up to the side of the head that is crossing each other before clearing it down. So 1, 2, 1, 2. And if you open up the hands as you do this, it looks like I'm receiving something from the top and I'm sweeping it away. So in application, if I'm taking it from the right, maybe receive, and like the gedan barai, I carry it away. So once I have the back, I can do anything, push it away, counter attack, or what have you. So on the left side, same thing, receive, carry it away, and push it away. Okay? And basically, that is what I refer to in my karate training when it comes to receiving against a hook punch, the haymaker, or anything that comes from the side.
I'm going to refer to my Shitoryu kata where we receive the haymaker attack. First one that you saw just now was the non-aggressive way, where I redirect the aggressor to the other side. So this is found in our pinan yondan kata, the fourth pinan kata. So it's actually at the beginning, it moves like this. One, and then immediately go to the other side. So you can see from here, in application, I will actually charge in towards the haymaker, right? Charge in, receive it, and this hand is actually jamming the bicep of the opponent, and this hand I'll insert it behind his neck. And then from here, I'll lower down myself, switch my stance as I pull and push his bicep up and swing him to the other side. So that's the first one. So the next move is the sashite. That move can be found from the kata nipaipo. Nipaipo is a very old kata. It's actually directly from China. They taught Okinawans this kata, and Okinawan incorporated into our karate syllabus. So the move goes like this. From here, step forward in a long stance, and you insert your hand straight. The back is straight, and then from here, move forward, elbow splash, and punch away. So this is the move in kata. But then for practical movement, when a person charges in with a haymaker, you just charge in at the same time, stop his attack, and at the same time grab his head. They can go for the body or grab the head and slam the elbow at the same time. Right, so that's the move from our Shitoryu kata.
One other thing that struck me when Hendra showed the technique where both hands come up and moving in one direction to the other is it's in a very similar approach to what I did, right? Mm-hmm. So in my case, in modern karate, the way we train is that the way we are going to do the technique, we try to replicate it as close as possible to the form. So in my case, when we train, we have both hands up, and then we literally imagine a hand and a neck pull them to the body and we turn around. But when I saw your form being like that, I couldn't imagine at first what it is for until you did the technique, and it surprised me to see that the technique is pretty much the same idea.
Quite simple, straightforward, like yours.
Okay. Another thing that surprised me, in fact, is the sashite technique that you showed, right? So the common idea is that when something comes, you need a strong structure to resist against it. Or in our case, we try not to do that. We try to deflect it away, or we try to miss it off. So my skepticism initially was that if you put your hand like that against something that is coming around, one part of the strike is going to hit your body either to the head or to the body. But what surprised me was that when you do that such thing, so maybe you do it on the left. So what surprised me was that when I threw the hook punch, thinking that the hook punch is going to loop around the head, what happened is, in fact, because the arm is straight and I threw the hook punch, my crease of the elbow slid across and brought me down. So, not knowingly, just by the structure, I was driven down, and in my mind, he could easily have received it with another technique without really changing much on the body. Right?
The part whereby you throw me to the side for your technique, right? Throw me to the side, I thought you were going to throw me there. Okay, right? So my eyes were directed to where you were bringing me to, but I could not see that your leg was coming up. So the leg was a very, very big surprise. And immediately in my mind, I thought, oh shit, I'm dead. Because I'm focused on the upper body, and you are directing it to the other side, and I couldn't see this coming.
Okay. So it pretty much says on two things.
Two things. It's very smooth. My body momentum moving forward and this knee coming in created a bigger impact, a real damage to my body. Then it's a hidden technique, which is very effective.
Yeah, I think regardless whether it's the modern karate approach or the traditional karate approach, to make counter technique effective, it is not just the receiving or the blocking of the technique, but also the counter action immediately, right? So before the opponent could do anything, you must take the initiative quickly and do something else.
Yeah.
So to me, I think that's number one. But then number two is to perform the technique with economy of movement. It's not about the big movements, it's about the small movements which on the outset might not look very powerful, but there is a benefit to its efficiency, and you don't need a lot of overwhelming power to make the technique work in these instances sometimes.
Like what he said about efficiency of the technique, right? I would think of it as a connectivity of the technique also.
Yeah.
Right? It must flow from one to another, and it must feel natural to your body.
Yeah.
Right? So the first one is well, after you throw this, right? For example, you are throwing a haymaker.
Yeah.
Most people what they do is they throw the other one. So this one you're doing a counter movement.
Yeah.
Probably I have to overcome this momentum and go on to the other side.
Yeah.
But then in karate, we try to make it smooth. If let's say the my momentum is coming here, next one I'll do is maybe elbow or a back fist. So make it smoother that I don't have to move my body in a big way. It's a lot of time to the next technique.
So definitely an interesting learning for me. To be honest, seeing this technique for the first time. And therefore, my learning I'm sharing with you.
Same here.
Okay, this video has been a response against the Haymaker / hook punch / round punch. If you like this video, click on the like button.
If you don't like, please comment.
If you like what you see and you think it's going to be useful for other people, please share the video around.
And if you'd like to see more content from us in the future, please follow.
This has been a video for the Lionheart Academy channel. With this, I hope we can enjoy karate more. Pose.